Hey everybody, welcome to the webinar. It's Jeff Mills here today. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to jump on some free training information that's going to help benefit your business, benefit your life, and show you some new ways that you can make money online with e-commerce. We've got a great group of guys with us today that are going to be walking you through how they're making money in a system they're using to make money on the internet that taps into Shopify. So those of you who are doing Shopify e-commerce systems, you're going to love this little special tool they've got, special plugin they've got, or I guess you can call it an app. And they're going to be introducing the app to you guys. Now, I do want to give you guys fair warning. We did bring Tobias, Keith Doherty, Rachel Snyder on a webinar about actually 6 months ago. I remember it was when I was in Australia. I got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to do a webinar. Oh, that was a training. That was a training with Keith. We did a training that one time. That was a good training call. But anyway, we brought these guys on in December of 2016, right before the big holiday rush of Christmas, and we taught everyone the whole idea of how you can bring personalization to e-commerce and add people's names, add family names, reunion names. There's so many applications. And, you know, it's at the time of us doing this webinar today, it's the summer season. And so as you look at what's going on in the summertime that you can make money on personalization, there's a lot of applications for weddings. Like I think 80% of the weddings happen in the summer months, June, July, August. And you can personalize wedding gifts for the bride and groom. It's a big seller. You can personalized groomsmen gifts and bridesmaid gifts for people who are in wedding parties, for other people in the wedding. It's a great way to personalize. There's so many other applications that personalization brings as a service that you can use to differentiate your products from all the other products out there. And one of the things that we were doing is you take a really popular, like a t-shirt that was really popular, has a really popular saying at it, and you find a way to tweak that t-shirt and add personalization to it, and now that shirt that was really popular has a whole new life to it, and it has a whole new sales cycle to it that you never would have been able to achieve before, because maybe people have seen that design so many times, or they've already bought it so many ways, and there's just no way to make it different and new and exciting. But personalization steps up your game, and it makes you stand out from the crowd. Like you see here in this image, you know, on the screen, you should be seeing an image of a light bulb here, and this image is representing why personalization is so good for you. So we've got Tobias Berlin, we've got Keith Doherty, we've got Rachel Snyder on here. The three of these guys are going to be training you guys, as well as Keith's going to be kind of leading the presentation. We'd love for you guys just to sit back and enjoy listening to multiple six-figure money earners who've been doing e-commerce for years and years and years, and who are very good at what they do, and have taught a lot of people how to make a lot of money on the internet. Very successful trainers and mentors are here with you guys today. So ask questions in the chat. There's always going to be somebody that can answer your questions as we go through. And Keith, I'm going to throw it over to you to get started.
Well, thanks, Jeff. We certainly appreciate you allowing us to come here, and everybody on the call, we certainly appreciate your time. We know you could be doing a lot of other things, so we want to get right in. Before we get started, though, let's just do a quick audio. If you guys can hear me, just type yes in the question box. Just make sure the audio is coming across okay. Make sure we got everything working, and all right, excellent, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. One of the other things, I think Jeff gave away some really cool ideas for you guys there. You should definitely write those down. Just to recap on those, to take, find popular designs and find a way to personalize is huge. Like he also said, this is one of the biggest times of the year for weddings. And another big thing that happens during the summer that you can capitalize on is family reunions, which are huge, right? That family reunions are huge, and the people, it's all one family. They love to have personalized items.
With volume. That's volume, right? If you get a big family, 30, 40 family members all buying a T-shirt, that's like a $500-$600 sale right there.
Absolutely, it's huge. So you guys take notes of those great ways you can do it. We're going to show you how you can implement that stuff here today. So we're going to get started. We're going to dive right in, and somebody asked, Randy said, should the screen be changing? Well, it should be now. It wasn't while I was talking, but you should see now Russell on the left and myself on the right. We also have Tobias is behind the scenes here. He's going to be showing you some cool demos later. So is the screen changing for everybody now? Can you see the new page, just to make sure that the visual is working as well? All right, excellent. All right, so as Jeff said, Russell's here with me. My name is Keith, and we have Tobias in the background. So I'm going to let Russell's going to jump on real quick. Just do a quick introduction just so you know who he is, and then we're going to go ahead and dive right in for you guys and show you exactly how you can start implementing these tactics today.
So, hi there, everyone. Hope all is going well for you. Can you hear me okay? All right. So I'm currently a proven in e-commerce. When I look at those numbers, they seem really big, but I built an e-commerce company and sold it about 7 years ago. But we scaled it up to 62 million in revenue. And so it was pretty good size. It was B2B. We were doing over $1 million a week in just credit card sales, and then other sales were on terms to the business customers. After I sold it, took a couple of years and just kind of had a life adjustment and went into afterwards the software business, and was the founder with a really smart gentleman named Pat Friedel of Ad Factory, and that people really love that software, and so got some notoriety for that. Other than that, my biggest accomplishment, of course, is having been married for 16 years, and I have two kids, a 10 and 12-year-old, and a rescue dog. And so that's it for me. I'm real happy to have you here, and I'm excited to show you what we have today.
All right, excellent. And of course, myself, as Jeff said, my name is Keith Dort. I met Jeff a few years back. Actually, Jeff and I connected, and we wrote a trend together. I don't know if you guys remember back a few years ago. How many people remember the name campaigns when you could run names on Facebook where you could say, you know, it's a Smith thing or it's a Mills thing? Does anybody remember those days back on Facebook? Did anybody get in on that opportunity? And that's kind of what birthed this whole entire software and everything where we are here today. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So back in the day, and this was how cool this was, right? We had so many marketers jumped into this to this market when before you used to be able to take people on Facebook, you could grab people like everybody that had the last name of Smith. You could grab all those people, put them into a custom audience, and then you could basically market to them and say, hey, it's a Smith thing, and show them a shirt. And the conversions were crazy. The click-throughs, we had like 34 to 50% click-through rates. The conversions were ridiculous. You could spend $10 and make thousands. It was pure insanity. We had a field day. Between myself and my students, we did almost $500,000 in about 6 weeks time frame. So it was an awesome time. The problem is, as people got really nervous, they're like, oh my gosh, how do they know I'm a Smith? Well, okay, your name is right there in Facebook, right? You typed your name in there, so it's really not surprising that people knew who you were, but people got nervous because they started seeing their last name show up in ads. So they didn't know how this was happening. They thought the government was watching them. So they would click on the ad and give negative feedback to Facebook. So because of all the marketers between myself and Jeff and all the other ones that were on this trend, they actually changed. We actually made them change their terms of service. Well, we didn't make them. We kind of forced them to, where Facebook changed their terms of service, basically saying that you cannot run name campaigns. You can't say, you can still run them. You just can't call people out by like, oh, are you a Smith? You can't say things like that. And they got really tight on that. So it was actually cool to see that we created a movement within the marketing community that made Facebook change the way they operate their business, right? Big Facebook got moved by us marketers, so it was really cool. So it was a really cool trend, and we had a lot of fun with it, but we wanted to find a way that we could still do it that was still approved, and we could make it happen, and that's what we're going to show you here today. So kind of give you a little quick background on how I've got to this point, how I'm sitting here today talking to you. I did the old traditional, hey, you got to, finish school, you got to go to college now. You got to go get a degree, right? Get a piece of paper that claims that I supposedly know something, right? So I went to school for business. I became a Microsoft certified systems engineer. I played around with networks and websites and all that kind of stuff. I got bored with that, so I'm like, here's my computer. I traded my computer in for a badge and a gun. So I got really really bored with the computer stuff, and I decided to become a cop and chase bad guys. So I moved to South Florida, down in Fort Lauderdale, became a police officer, and I did that for a while until I realized, it's kind of dangerous, right? It's kind of dangerous. I had young kids at the time. So I left that. I ended up creating a brick and mortar business. We built that up quickly to almost $2.4 million in about 2 years. Didn't really like that. I left that. So we sold out of that deal, and I just didn't like dealing with all the employees, and it was just something I had to move on from. So I started my online business in 2009. So I took everything I knew from the past, everything I had, and I started my online business. I jumped into SEO. I quickly signed a huge $60,000 SEO deal because I learned SEO, and I signed a company for a deal for a national SEO contract. I started to get into publishing. I became a best-selling author. I've actually published, I believe, 6 or 7 #1 best-selling books at this point. I've done a lot with list building, have over 169,000 people on my list. I've got into paid traffic. We're doing list building and lead generation. We do that for companies. We have major accounts where we handle lead generation for companies. And then I started to get into physical products where I did Teespring. We've done a couple $100,000 with Teespring. And then, of course, we moved off of Teespring into Shopify so that we could control our own customer base and run the store ourselves. So that's basically my quick overview of why I'm sitting here. And Russell and I connected about a year or so ago on a book project I was working on. I actually connected with Russell, and we became friends, and we've been friends ever since. And then he approached me and said, hey, Tobias and I are working on this software. I'm like, this is awesome. I definitely want to participate and be part of this because I think it's such a great tool that we can use for our business. So let's cover a few ground rules just to make sure we're all on the same page. When we talk about any results today, our results are not remotely typical. When we talk about making money, we're not implying that you or anyone will achieve any results or do anything. When we talk about our clients, please know the results are not typical. And we all know that business entails risk. I think we're all big boys and girls here, and we understand that when we run a business that there's potentially risk involved whenever we invest our time and money in things. Is everybody cool with that? We got to cover this. We got to make sure we're all on the same page and that we're ready to move on. So if you guys could just type a Y in the question box, let me know you're here, let me know we're good to go, and we're going to go ahead and move right along and get you into the actual content. Excellent. And I tend to be pretty interactive, so just so you guys know, if you have questions throughout the entire presentation, at any point, just jump in and ask your question. Between myself and we have Russell, of course, is here, and we have Tobias is here as well. So between the three of us, and Jeff is here as well. So if you have any questions throughout the entire presentation, we are here live. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to train you and help you as much as we can. So please take advantage of all the education and knowledge we have. And if we don't have an answer, we'd be happy to try to figure it out and get it for you at some point. But for the most part, we should be able to handle any question that you have for us here today. All right. And of course, you have to actually work to get results, right? I know it's a big shock to everybody that you have to do that, right? So obviously, there's no get rich quick or anything like this. So this is just amazing statistic that I found, and I was actually floored by this because I didn't realize it was this big of an industry. So the e-commerce market actually reached $1.915 trillion in 2016. So that's not million or billion, that's trillion. It's basically the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and getting it to work can be a challenge for people. How many people here have tried e-commerce or trying e-commerce, or maybe it's working for you a little bit? Just type a number 1 in the question box. If you're trying e-commerce, if you maybe have a Shopify store, maybe you're trying in other ways, maybe you're trying to do physical products, just type a 1 just to kind of let us know that, okay, I'm in the market, I'm trying it. And Guy says it's hard, and it can be, right? It can be. Excellent. So it looks like we got a lot of 1s, so a lot of people are trying it. And then type in number 2 if you haven't tried e-commerce. Maybe you thought about it, but you haven't done anything with it yet. Just type in number 2 for us. I'm just trying to gauge, what kind of audience we have so we make sure we can communicate effectively with you here today. All right, excellent. So we're getting some 2s coming in as well. All right. So you can see here, this came from eMarketer, that the worldwide retail e-commerce sales reached $1.915 trillion in 2016. And it's amazing, and it's projected. This is the cool part here. This is the thing you need to really pay attention to. It's projected to go up to $4 trillion by the year 2020. So within the next 3 years, we're in the midst of that growth right now. We're headed to a $4 trillion market. How many people would like to just tap into a small little piece of that? I mean, even just think about it, like even a half of 1% would give you a nice piece of a $4 trillion pie, right? Just think about how big the market. So when people say, oh, well, it's, there's a lot of competition, it's crowded, I don't want to, go up against other people. Just think about how big that is. $4 trillion market. It's a massive online marketplace. So there's plenty of room for everybody to have their share and to live extremely comfortable off of that. Let's take a look here. This is a very interesting graphic that's very telling, right? So back in 2006, Best Buy, JCPenney, all these big brick and mortar stores, they were doing well, 28 billion, 18, 24. Look what happened in the last 10 years. These stores have basically almost just crashed by 50. Look at Best Buy dropping by almost 50%. JCPenney down 83%. Kohl's, Macy's, Nordstrom, almost 50%, Nordstrom 20%. Look at Sears, and we all know Sears, they're pretty much just dead in the water, at 95% loss, right? But here's the interesting statistic. Look at Amazon. Look at Amazon was the $17 billion company that was kind of lingering around back in 2006, and then in 2016, 10 years later, $351 billion. So that clearly shows the shift, and we all, probably a lot of you here are on Amazon. You might have a Prime membership. I know my wife and I, whenever we think we need something, whenever something crosses our mind, a lot of times I don't even think like, oh, I wonder if now Walmart maintained, right? So they did okay. They increased by 2%, so they did okay. But a lot of times in my mind, I could think, oh, can I, is it at a store? The first thing in my mind a lot of times is, I wonder if it's on Amazon. I wonder if I could just go on my phone in my Amazon app and see if this product is there. And I have Prime, so I'm going to get it in 2 days for free. So I'll jump on there. Oh, there it is. And it's usually a lot of times the cheapest price. I click a button. It's at my door in 2 days. So that attributes to the massive growth in the online marketplace that's happened over the years. So there's what it all boils down to when we see that this marketplace is moving to $4 trillion by 2020, and we can clearly see the shift from traditional brick and mortar. I mean, these numbers don't lie. These numbers, are clear indicators of where the marketplace is moving to. So this is a massive opportunity for anybody to be able to take advantage of this e-commerce boom that's happening. So right now, the massive opportunity is all tied around building an e-commerce business, right? So e-commerce businesses require less startup capital and less risk than most other types of businesses that are out there. And platforms such as Shopify make it easy and cheap to set up your own shop, right? Think about a traditional business. You got to go out and find a physical location. You have to rent the location. You probably have to sign a long-term lease, right? You probably have to put money down, sign a long-term lease. And then you have to, put things in the store, potentially display shelves, and you got to get insurance, and then you got to get inventory. You got to buy inventory before you sell anything. So I got to fill this. So it's just a nightmare. And then I got to get people to come into my store, right? It's a physical location. It's only in one spot where people have to come into. It's just a nightmare to actually try to run a business like that. And ad platforms, this is the other benefit, such as Facebook, provide an almost automated sales engine that you can power your company to millions in revenue per year. And this is the benefit in the time you're sitting at right now, that you can literally, in the next 24 hours, if you don't have a store, right, in the next 24 hours, you could literally have your own store up and running, ready to go, without ever having to buy inventory or touch inventory again. And that's the power of the system. So there is kind of one problem though, okay? So there is obviously a lot of opportunity, but there could be problems related to it, and there tends to be a problem. And the problem is sometimes the competition can be a little bit fierce, right? Because once people get into an area, a lot of people dive in and they do the same thing, right? There's an increasing amount of competition. There's new Shopify store owners daily. Just like when the t-shirt business came out, it was a big thing. Everybody dove into that pool, and it got extremely competitive, right? So the reason for that was that there was such low barriers to entry, right? People could easily import. They could find anything cheap. Almost all products became commodities, right? Other than licensed and patented products, which people wouldn't go after because they were too expensive, most of the stuff was really easy for people to get to. So there is a new way that you can actually compete. There's a new way that you can stand out from all the competition and offer unique products that nobody else has, and you still do not have to actually physically touch the products ever. And the way you can do that is you can stand out by offering personalized print-on-demand products. So what this basically allows you to do is these products are created when your customer places an order, right? So the simple thing is when somebody comes to your site and they place an order, let's say this necklace, for example. Let's say this necklace is on my website. My wife's name is Jamie, right? So I go to a website, I see this True Love necklace. I'm like, that's great. I like it. I want to get it for my wife, but I'm going to put my wife's name on it, right? So I type in my wife's name, and next thing you know, it's on the screen. I see it personalized, right? So I can see it. So this is very powerful to think, because there's a lot of companies out there that offer personalization, but they don't offer real-time personalization. What that means is if I type my name into the computer, I want to see it on the product, because when I see it on the product, I make a visual connection with that product, and it engages my emotions, right? And essentially I can see like, okay, there's my wife's name, there's the product, I created it, so now I have a bigger emotional connection to the product, and I'm more apt to complete my purchase, right? Here's another example. I love James and Sam, right? It could just be, it's a simple, this is actually a laptop sleeve protector that's made out of bamboo, so it's wood, right? So it's another thing. And the amount of products and the things that are available to you are basically, there's just so many out there, and we're going to talk about those, and you're going to see those here in a little bit. So the question you might be asking is about how can I offer this? How can I offer the solution to my potential customers, and how can I put it on my store, right? And I'm going to introduce to you now that there's a product that was created by Tobias and Russell, and it's called Customplex. And it's basically, Customplex is a private invite-only Shopify app. Jeff mentioned that earlier. It's a Shopify app which enables your Shopify store to offer personalized products rendered in real time. Now, let me make sure you understand what that means. Rendered in real time means these products do not exist right now. Right, so when somebody goes to your site and they see a product like that necklace you just saw, the necklace doesn't exist. It's nowhere to be found. It's not in inventory. Nobody has it. So when people type in that customization, when I typed in my wife's name, Jamie, it automatically creates that graphic. It creates the graphic instantly that is then sent over to the print-on-demand company. So there's companies that will then take this brand new real-time graphic that was just created, personalized for that customer. It'll create the product, it'll then ship the product, and you don't have to do anything. You get to collect the money, you pay the vendor a small fee to provide the product to your customer, and your only job is to just get people to come to your store, and we're going to show you how to do that as well. So how many people think that's pretty cool, that you could actually offer personalized products that are rendered in real time, so you get to see them live on the screen? So obviously, as I said, this was created by Tobias, who's on the call with us, as well as Russell, who's here with us today. So I do need to ask that you guys keep this confidential. Right now, we are not doing a mass market rollout, and we actually, we prefer that people that decide to move forward with us, that you guys have some runway without much competition. So how many people think it's cool that we're not doing a big massive like, hey, everybody check out this app, because it would probably go crazy and we'd fill up, everybody would want it, right? So we're kind of keeping it private. So this is confidential. The only reason that you're getting to see it is because Jeff is good friends with us. And he, like he said, he did present this back in December, and we talked again, and he said, hey, I want to offer this again to my people, and it's still close. So this just shows you how true we are to our word. We offered this to Jeff and his audience back in December, and we're still not public, right? We don't have any initial plans. We will be going public in the future, but there's no set date. So this is going to give you the opportunity to be able to take advantage of this time frame. All right, so the quick disclaimer on this, right? While this may be the coolest software ever, which I think it is, because it does so much, it engages people on a personal level, it engages their emotions, you can charge more money for personalized products, so your profit margins are better. There's just so many ways that make this so unique and better, but there's no promise or guarantee that you'll make income or have any increase in business by using the software, right? As with any tool, your own results are going to vary based upon many factors that are around how you conduct your business. So this is not for get-rich-quick people or for anybody that would consider themselves as an amateur, right? You have to understand that you're going to run an actual business here. So let me just give you a quick overview of how CustomPlex works, okay? So the first step, this is purely simple, is step one is to set up a Shopify store. So how many people here already have it? If you already have a Shopify store, type in number 1 for me in the box. If you already have a Shopify store, type in number 1 in the box. So some people are already, the ones are flying in. So some people already have step 1 is already done. They already have the store. If you don't have a store, type in number 2. Just like I said, so I can understand. All right, so a couple people there. We have a couple people. So here's the cool thing. Literally, Shopify can be installed and set up. Realistically, I'm gonna talk from a beginner standpoint. So if you're starting from scratch, if you don't happen to have a store set up, you can go to Shopify and sign up and you can have a store ready in your name in minutes. Now to actually get, to connect it and get some inventory on there, it does take some time. So I would say for a beginner, I'm trying to give you guys realistic goals here, all right? Basically, if you're starting from scratch and you need a store, you can most likely conservatively be up and running within 3 to 4 hours, right? So now think about what that means. You might say, wow, Keith, that 4 hours, that's a long time in this computer and computer day and age, right? But think about it. If literally, think about the example I talked to you before. If I was going to create a real physical product store, right? Let's say I was going to talked about renting that space and buying all the display racks and ordering inventory and all that stuff, right? That takes a lot of time. Literally, you can set up a store within 3 to 4 hours and be tapping into this coming $4 trillion market. So that to me is just ridiculous that, within that amount of time, okay, so maybe it takes you 6 hours or 8 hours, right? Which it shouldn't, but even if it did, if you could be tapping into that kind of marketplace and that kind of time frame, who wouldn't want to do that, right? So step number 2 is you install the CustomPlex app. So once you set up your store, you basically create a store, all right? And then you click a button. So there's just simply a button that you click, and the CustomPlex app installs directly on your store. It literally takes about less than 60 seconds, and it's on your store. So step 2 is really easy. So if you had to set up the store, that took you a little bit of time. Step 2, you just like, wow, that was nothing. I clicked the button and boom, it was on my store. It's literally that quick. Step number 3 is you add a product. So we have a basic wizard, which you're going to see here in a little bit when we demo the software for you. You just click and add a t-shirt, a mug, a pillow. There's many other products, but whatever product you want to add, you simply add the product so that you can sell it in your store, right? If I don't have a product to sell, I can't make any money, so I have to simply add a product. And then step 4 is we start selling. It's literally a 4-step process. So we have our Shopify store, we install our CustomPlex app, we set up a product, and we're ready to start selling that quickly. So do you guys want to see some examples? Do you guys want to see some examples of how this works and the kind of margins and things that are involved? And then we'll actually take you to a live demo. So if you guys want to see some examples, just type yes in the question box. And I want to show you so you can understand exactly the power of what you can do with this application, what it means to offer personalized things. All right, everybody's saying yes, 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 please show, please show, please show. All right. So let's take an example here. Now, this was an extreme example, all right? This was a totally extreme example that I set up, and because I wanted to show you guys the power of what CustomPlex can do. So some people think on a really basic level. So some people think, hey, I want to just let somebody be able to add their first name or their last name to a shirt, let's say, right? That would be really basic thinking. Oh, I like what John, just saw John's comment. He said, yes, come on, Rambo. So I like that. I appreciate that, John. So this was an extreme example. So this is an example of a pillow on a popular website out on the internet. So people can go, they could order this pillow, and it's a really cool pillow, right? It symbolizes the birth of a child. So in the example here, you can see Wyatt David Jackson, the date that Wyatt was born, the time, the length, and then the pounds and ounces. So it's a very emotional pillow that somebody would want to create. Now this is cool that you can create it, but the problem with it is I don't get to see it, right? I click the button and then I give them my information, and I don't get to see what my pillow looks like. So part of that problem is you don't have an emotional connection to the product. And the reason we want that emotional connection to the product is because if people are emotionally connected, people make buying choices usually on emotion. They usually base it on a need or a want, right? And those are tied to emotions. Either I need to have food to survive, so I have to buy it, or I want this item because this is about my child. There's a loving connection here to this. So when I can create and make that emotional connection so much stronger, there's a better chance that people are going to follow through and complete the purchase, right? That's a big, huge thing. So we took this same pillow and we added it to Customplex. This is the back end of Customplex. Now, you're going to see this in detail, but I wanted to go extreme and show you, like I said, normally somebody could personalize something and add a name. A name, that takes you literally a second. I wanted to show the power. This basically has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different levels of personalization. The name, the first name, the middle and last name, the date of birth, the time of birth, the length in inches, the pounds and the ounces. So there's 7 different fields that are personalized. So this is, and you can have as many as you want. We don't limit you. We don't lock you out. You can just, expand this to however you want. So here's the actual product on the store. So this is via Shopify. So just look how cool this is, right? So somebody goes to order the baby pillow, right? And they simply input the first name, the middle and last name, the date of birth, the length in inches, the time of birth, the pounds, and the ounces, and it automatically on the screen, once they click the button that says click here to preview, it creates the item for them in real time. So now when I'm looking at that, I'm said, oh, my son, look at my son, that's my son, right? Or if I'm a grandparent, that's my grandchild. There's a much stronger emotional connection now to this pillow because I'm seeing my son's name on here. I'm seeing when he was born. That's a huge day, right? That's a huge connection. Now, all somebody has to do is click add to cart and they can buy this. We wanted to take it a step further because the next level of where you tend to lose a customer tends to be at the checkout, right? Somebody may add it to cart, but then they're like, oh, all right, well, I don't know, maybe I don't really want this. What we did is we carry the personalized product directly to the shopping cart. So what this does is it continues to follow you with the exact item that you created, all right? You created this item. The item didn't exist. This pillow did not exist. So we carry the product directly to the shopping cart so that that emotional connection continues from the creation stage to now where they're going to check out. So how many people think that's pretty cool that in real time you get to create the product, but then also we have the product follow them so we maintain that emotional connection because we want them to finish their checkout and complete their order, right? That's the ultimate goal, is to generate a sale. So here's the back end, and like I said, when Tobias and Russell are going to jump on and do a demo, they're going to show you how the back end works. But basically what this does is the order comes in, we connect it to one of our print-on-demand companies, and then it goes over to the print-on-demand company. They create the pillow, they ship the pillow. We don't ever touch the pillow. We never see the pillow. We never touch any inventory. It goes directly to the consumer via a tracked shipping package, USPS or UPS or FedEx, however it's shipped, and it's hands off. So we get the money, right? So this is the power here, right? Your Shopify store collects the money. So the $39.99 for this pillow came into your bank account, and then they turn around and you have a print-on-demand company said, well, we'll print this and ship this for you. Just pay us a small fee. So it's literally like just ridiculous that you get to create these products and you never have to touch them. You're not a physical product company. You don't have boxes stacked up in your warehouse. And Ken, we're going to get to that. It's a great question. We're going to get to that in just a minute. So let me walk you through some of the margins on these because you're going to start to see if you've been doing anything in e-commerce, right? If you've been doing anything in e-commerce, that you know that sometimes there's been many different courses out there. We've seen a lot of the people, they teach all these like free plus shipping, which I think is an okay way to generate some business. But there's not a lot of margins in these low-end items. A lot of people teach like sell these little necklaces and trinkets and all that. I want stuff with margins, right? I want to make more money. If I'm going to generate a sale, I want to make more money. So look at this. If we sold the pillow for $39.99 and we offered free shipping and handling, let's just say we're nice. We're not even going to charge shipping and handling, which you could, right? You could still charge $3.99, $4.99, and people would still pay it. Well, let's just assume for this example we don't, right? We offer free shipping and handling. So we get $39.99 directly deposited to either our PayPal or our bank account, depending on how you accept payment through Shopify. And then this print provider that we show here, and we actually have, this is one of the print providers we use is Printful. We actually have other print provider, print on demand company. So the cost for them to create this is $17. So for them to take care of it for us and create it and get, send it out, $17. So the profit on this is $22.99. I mean, that to me is great that I could make over $20. Now, if you charge shipping, your margin would go up, right? You could add either $2, $3, $4 in there and easily have a $25 profit margin on this item. Now, the reason people are willing to pay more for this is because this is not just a run-of-the-mill product. It's not just something you pick off the shelf and you buy. This is a personalized product, especially this product is highly personalized because it has the entire name, the birth date, the time, the length, and the pounds and ounces, right? So it's a whole nother level of personalization. So that's why people are willing to pay more, right? That's how you can charge more for personalized products. And you create that greater emotional connection because it is personalized. Here's another cool one. I just love this example. This is really powerful. So this is another case study I want to talk about. Couples key dates. So this is actually a piece of wall art that we found on a popular site where it talks about the day we met, our first date, and the first kiss, Samantha and Michael, right? So we took this in the back inside of Customplex, and you can see here there was only four personalization pieces to this. The day we met, our first date, our first kiss, and then her name and his name, right? So, and Guy, that's an excellent point. Getting traffic will reduce your profit, but if you have $22 worth of profit, Guy, do you think you could spend more money to get traffic than if you were selling a $10 necklace with a few dollars of margin, right? So think about that. You made an excellent point, which is the reason I stopped to point it out. But if I have margins that are $20, $25, $30, $40, I have a lot more money to move traffic and generate sales because I have a lot bigger profit margins. So you can grow your business a lot faster because you have that. All right, so we got, yeah, you're right, Mark. It should be his and her. You guys get the idea. So that we set this example up to show you, but obviously we'd reverse that. So what happens is it comes into the back end, same way, goes off to the print-on-demand company. We don't touch it. It gets sent out. Here it is in the ordered items. It shows up personalized again, and then there it is. And then if we look at the profit breakdown on this, so this one, if we sold this at $139.99 and we still offered free shipping, essentially that, and that's funny. John, you're the first person to notice that. John just said that Tom didn't get a kiss on his first date. So John said that. John's the first person to notice that Tom did not get a kiss on his first date. So that's a good fact that you found. So let's say we collect $139.99. That comes into our store. We get paid that. So we have the cash. The cost to print this out and send it, $85. So the margins on this are $54.99. So this is just shows you the amount of margins that are out there. Now you could charge whatever you wanted for the selling price. You get to make your own prices. It's your store, but you know what it costs. You can clearly mark it up and you can make more because people are willing to pay that because it's personalized. Now, how many people here kind of want a ninja? Some people talked about traffic. Guy brought it up. Hey, traffic will reduce. You guys want a really cool way to sell this type of poster or to be able to target specifically people that are in relationships and anniversary type stuff? I'll give you a ninja trick that actually works really effective that a lot of people don't know about inside of Facebook. But only if I get enough yeses here, because I want to make sure you guys aren't sleeping on me and make sure you're paying attention. I know sometimes my voice can be soothing and you just want to relax, but I want to give you guys the goods. That's why we're here today, to share with you the really cool stuff, because that's why Jeff invited us and that's what we love to do. All right, all the yes are coming. Dave says, come on. All right, so check this out. And Mark says, give it to us, right? So here's a cool thing. If you didn't realize you can do this, this is just awesome. So here's what I would do for any type of, now, one thing is, and I'm not trying to stereotype, it just tends to be the way it is, right? Men typically, all right, men typically screw up, right? And they forget their anniversary. They tend to do it. Men just tend to do it. I don't know why. It just tends to be what happens. So men tend to screw up and they forget the anniversary. With then, of course, their partner is really upset that they screwed up and they forgot the anniversary. So what you could do is you would be doing a service to men of all humanity, right? And all humanity is that you can, in Facebook, all right, you could set up a product like this or something similar that's related to an anniversary, and you could target. In the targeting, obviously, here's what I would do. I would target men, so I would go into Facebook, target men that are married, okay, so men that are married, and then in the actual interest box, I would type in upcoming anniversary. Now it's going to give you a few choices there. I believe there's one that says like 30 days, and I think the other one says like 60 to 90 days. I would go for the longer time frame, 60 to 90, so it gives you time to get the order in and for the company to produce and ship it. Then I would put an ad in front of these men and say, don't be in the doghouse this year and forget your anniversary, right? Because you know that Facebook has the actual data. They know when the anniversary is, and you can target people on Facebook that have an upcoming anniversary. So why not help out these poor guys that forget and get in trouble, or anybody, right? You don't have to target just men. You could target anybody with an upcoming anniversary and say, hey, don't forget your anniversary. Check out this really cool item, right? So Deborah, I would do that. Deborah says, let's see it in real time. We're not set up here because we value your time. So we're not set up to jump out over to Facebook and be able to show you all that targeting. But basically all you do is what I just said. I gave you the system that you can set up an ad on Facebook. You can target, like I would target men that are married and then type in upcoming anniversary and look for the 60 to 90 days. And I would put a product similar to this or this type of product directly in front of them. And you could do extremely well. You can target birthdays as well, upcoming birthdays. So if people have birthdays coming up, you can do that. So there's a lot of unique ways that you can target, but that's one way you could use a product like this that a lot of people don't realize you can do. All right, here's a really cool one I want to show you real quick before we get into a demo, because I want to show you the power of, now this one, I thought outside the box a little bit with this one, all right? Now I'm going to just kind of preface this with, this isn't as easy as the print on demand. It does take one extra step, but you still do not have to touch the inventory, okay? And there's just the margins in this are ridiculous when you see it. So I went to a very popular online company, and they offer a lot of personalized items, such as a flask, right? So I found this flask, and I went to their site, and you can see that this engraved flask. So here's what I thought. Okay, here's what I thought. I read this engraved flask, so they're telling me it's engraved. So I'm assuming that for $24.99, it's engraved, right? Because the name of the product is an engraved flask. And just remember what Jeff said, talked about weddings. Look what this is, a great gift for groomsmen. Father's Day, birthdays, holidays, thank yous, right? So that tells you right there. So here I'm thinking this is an engraved flask that I'm getting for 25 bucks. I'm like, that's a pretty decent price, I thought. It was pretty reasonable. Oh, but was I wrong? Was I ever wrong, right? So I added it to my shopping cart. And then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, yeah, we want your $24.99 just for the actual flask itself. But in order to personalize it, they wanted $28. So a non-personalized flask, even though they say this engraved flask, it's almost to me false advertising, right? It just seems because they say this engraved flask, I assumed it's engraved, but it's not. You have to pay $28 to actually get this. So now I'm up to $52.99, right? I'm up to $52.99. So $52.99, then they want to charge me $10. I can't imagine this little flask that weighs nothing. It's a little metal thing. It's got to be pretty light. They want 10 bucks to ship this thing. I think it's ridiculous, whatever. And then, of course, they have stores here in the state. I live in Florida, so then they want to charge me sales tax. So $4. And so out the door, if I was to order this engraved personalized, I guess it's engraved with something else. I don't know. But either way, if I want it personalized, I want it shipped to me, and to get my hands on this, $67.04. I'm like, holy cow, that's ridiculous. That seemed really excessive. Now, it's a popular store. I'm sure they sell these. People pay this price all the time. I don't know why they would. I think it's ridiculous, but people pay this, especially for weddings, for groomsmen presents. They do this, right? So I said, I wonder if, can I find a way to do this through Customplex and offering, a similar solution that I still wouldn't have to put my hands on, because I don't want to be buying flasks and trying to engrave them, right? That's not my specialty. My specialty is, let's get the store up, let's get people to the store, right? Generate revenue. So I went to a site called AliExpress. Some of you may have heard of AliExpress, where you can order products from China and ship them directly to your customers. So you still don't have to touch the flask. I don't have to ship it to my house and then try to personalize or customize it. So I went there and I found this shipped e-packet. So I'm going to give you guys another trick here. If you do any type of drop shipping through AliExpress, you always want to use e-packet. And the reason is they offer free shipping through their standard shipping, but it takes like 6 to 8 weeks to get to people, and people get pissed off. People file disputes, they file chargebacks, they do not want to wait. With e-packet, it usually gets there on average in 10 to 12 days. Now, people are okay with that, right? They know it's personalized, and they know it's going to take time to create and get to them, so they're not expecting it to show up in the next 2 days like Amazon Prime, right? That's the other thing by using personalized products. People don't expect it instantly because they know it has to be created, because it doesn't exist. So, like I said, if you don't remember anything I say, if you ever use AliExpress and decide to sell products and drop ship them, so you're going to have the supplier send it directly to your customer, you always want to look for e-packet. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of problems. The reason I know that is because when I got into this business years ago, I used their free shipping, and I had a nightmare on my hands. People were irritated. PayPal was blowing up because it took, people got their product, but it took like 6 to 8 weeks, and people just were not happy. And I didn't know that, right? I was a beginner. So I'm going to save you the aggravation I had to go through. Always look for e-packet. Even if you had to pay a couple bucks extra for e-packet, do it, right? So, but bottom line is, I can get this personalized engraved 6-ounce hip flask. So it's engraved. They will write on it exactly what I want. I can put somebody's name. I can put a slogan. I can put, just like you see on the screen, Charles, best man. So what you can do is you could get a hold of the vendor and say, can you send me a picture of the flask without any engraving? You drop it into Customplex, and then people could still personalize it. Then you would send the item directly to the vendor, AliExpress. You have to place the order because it's not print on demand. Okay, so I told you there was an extra step. So you would place the order, and then it still gets shipped directly to your customer. So you still don't have to touch it, but there is one extra step. And there's many products that AliExpress has that you could do this with, but I'm just trying to open your mind to realize there's many different places that you could add products to your store and still offer personalization without having to touch anything. So if we were to look at the profit on this, let's just say we sold this thing for $49, right? Let's say we were going to sell this for $49, even though they wanted like 60, I don't know, 62, 67, whatever they wanted, right? So let's say I sell it for 49 bucks. For weddings. People for weddings, they know everything's expensive. So people are willing, they usually have multiple bridesmaids. They're probably going to order 4 of these, right? The 4 or 5 of them, however many people are in their wedding. So you could have a bulk order of 4 or 5 of these, but at the end of the day, let's say we charge $49.99. We offer free shipping and handling. Our total cost to AliExpress is $6.54. That leaves us a profit of $43.45. which we can then take a piece of that and use to get traffic on Facebook. So even if you're terrible, absolutely terrible at Facebook traffic, you have a lot of room to screw up even, which we're going to actually show you how you won't have to screw up, but you could still screw up and have so much margin built into your profit that you could still almost do this wrong and still come out okay, because there's so much profit built in to personalized products. How many people would like to make over $40 profit on their items? How many people think that'd be pretty cool to have multiple items that have profit margins $25, $30, $40, $50, $60, right? All right. So JC wants some extra guidance in targeting. So I'll give you guys some extra coaching that I didn't plan on doing. So JC says, how would you target this item in Facebook? Okay, here's how I would target this item in Facebook. Best man, if I was going to sell a best man product, I would target men that are engaged, and that's it. Men that are engaged, right? If they're engaged, they probably have an upcoming wedding. And so men that are engaged, and then put this in front of them, say, you know, getting married soon or getting married, need personalized groomsmen items or gifts, right? They're gifts. You know, get this personalized flask for whatever, $49, $39, whatever you want to sell it for. So this you could easily target men that are engaged. Now, if you want to take it a little deeper, you could say men that are engaged, and then you could actually say, and if they like other things, maybe if they like wedding planning, weddings, getting married, there's other interests like that you could throw in to maybe make it a little tighter. But on a broad level, you could go for men that are engaged, because men that are engaged are probably getting married, and you could do that. You could also, okay, here's another way you could go at this. If you guys want me to tell you, I'll tell you, but I'll give you another angle, okay? From, it seems like, right, from, I guess, my perception, maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like women, right, the women normally plan weddings. So what you could do there too is, right, and that's what Lynn's saying, would you target the women buying it? Absolutely. Because I think if the women are actually planning the wedding, so what I would do there is target women that are engaged, and then in the interest, type in, you know, all the wedding stuff, like wedding planning, wedding dress, wedding cake, anything to do with a wedding, wedding gifts, things like that, and then say, getting married soon, get these personalized gifts. And you could take them to a page where you have all these wedding gifts that you could personalize. So that's how you could tap into this market that's huge right now, especially in the summer here. So there's how you target that. So definitely the women, I'm going to tell you right now, the women tend to be more active on Facebook. So if I can get a product that could be personalized for weddings in front of women, you're probably going to have a better conversion rate than the men, because the women might even still be buying the groomsmen products or gifts for their future husband. All right, so that now you had that. So the power of personalization, and I just went crazy here. This is not even an all-inclusive list of the things you could do. You can offer any product you want on Customplex. We don't lock it down to a specific vendor. We did that on purpose. Any product that you could literally, here's another ninja trick for you. And here's a way that you can do something that nobody else is really doing. How many people have heard of Etsy? E-T-S-Y, Etsy. Just type yes or no if you've heard of Etsy. Just type a yes or no for me so I know if people have heard of it or not. Some people have, some people haven't. So Etsy is basically, I call it kind of an art type site. People tend to be very creative, very artsy, and they use Etsy to sell their products. So let's say I go over to Etsy, right? So this is the power of Customplex. Let's say I go over to Etsy and I find this really cool wooden clock, a really cool wooden clock that somebody will engrave with my last name on it. I'm like, dang, that's a cool product. I bet you I could sell that on my store. I could target, you know, people that are into that, and I could sell this. So I could ask the vendor, I could get them and say, hey, you know, what's the best price you can give me on these? Can we work a wholesale deal? And they'll say, well, I'll give you the clocks for whatever, $10. Okay, so $10 plus shipping. Cool. What's your shipping? Oh, shipping's $4.95. Okay, fine. So I know I got to collect $15 in order to pay that vendor to create that clock. So then I say, can you send me a blank picture of the clock with no customization, just a blank picture of the clock? I take the blank picture, I drop it into Customplex, I start marketing on Facebook, I target people that would be interested in that product, and they start buying the product. So all I do is once they create the product, I simply send an email. The email can go directly over to that Etsy vendor, and oh, here's one for the Smith family, here's one for the Doherty family, right? So the vendor merely creates the clock, they ship the clock for me. I still don't have to do anything, yet I've found a unique product that not a lot of people are probably even buying. So I'm helping this vendor build their business, and I'm building my business. They told me they wanted whatever, 10, 15 bucks. So I'm over here charging, you know, $39.99, right? And Deborah says ultra personalized, right? This is just, the possibilities are endless with this. We don't want to, and that's why I was even hesitant to put all these things on the screen. anything that if any vendor you can find that offers something personalized, you can set up a deal with and sell it and then have them create it and ship it out for you, right? As long as you're willing to pay them and people are willing to take money, you can make that happen. So obviously there's so much you can do with personalization. It's just don't put yourself in a box. Think outside the box. Think what nobody else is selling, what nobody else is using, right? Because that's going to make you stand out and help build your business faster than anybody else. So who wants to see the actual software in action? Type of number 1 in the question box if you guys want to see the actual software behind the scenes. We're going to open up the hood, show you the engine, show you how everything works, and basically just kind of reveal everything to you. And it looks like everybody's typing in ones. So with that said, I'm going to see, I don't know if we're going to have Tobias or Russell, one of you who's going to...
Well, I'm doing this is Russell, but we're going to get lucky today because Tobias is going to give us the demo.
All right, Tobias, so are you ready for me to switch over to you?
Yeah, switch over to me, please, Keith.
All right, so I'm going to send it over to Tobias, and he's going to take you behind the scenes. If you guys have any questions while he's presenting, by all means, drop them in the question box. I'm still here. Russell's still here, and we'll be happy to answer them for you as we go through this demo. Yeah, and Guy, real quick, Guy, you can capture email addresses in Shopify. Actually, when somebody starts their checkout, they put their email and it's captured. So, yes, great question. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Tobias.
Awesome. Okay. Just the first question. You see my screen here already? It's always a little bit of a surprise if you change presenter. Just give me a 1 in the box or tell me if you see it. So now I can continue from here. Okay, 1, 1, 1. That's good. Okay, awesome. So I want to quickly give you a live overview of a few, based on a few examples here. How is that whole thing working, especially how you set up the images. And I'm starting here with some basic stuff like you see different ones. So we are, as Keith already said, we are not limited to the products. We are not limited to any print provider. It was our main goal here when we developed the software, that we said it should be super flexible, and it should be super flexible in a way that you can add print providers by yourself, or you can just use the print providers which we integrate over time. So that was the first thing. The second thing was we are not limited to the products. So we are able to apply the design which you set up, and I'll show you in a minute, on almost every product here. It's more like the question, who is the print provider, who is the one who is printing stuff, or not only print, we also talk about laser tagging, laser branding, stuff like this. Who is the one who's doing that? That could be a small one like your print shop, or like a friend, or so even yourself, if you are so crazy that you buy a print or something like that, or some print shop around the corner, or you go to one of the bigger ones. We are super flexible in the way you can integrate them. If you don't have them already integrated, you can integrate them by themselves. I will show that in a minute. So let's start with an example here, like you saw that one which Keith mentioned before. I wanna go into this one, for example. So that's just the setup as somebody who is visiting your shop would see it. You see, okay, this is the basic one. We give them a message load image here, so they understand. Okay, put in my text. I can put in my text here. So let's say we have a crazy dude here, and then I would select an image. This is now me as a visitor to your store, entering the store and just following this steps here. And you can now, what I'm doing is I'm taking a picture, and then it's uploaded, and it says click here to preview, and then we are taking the picture which I just uploaded as a visitor and the text which I put in, and doing a real-time presentation of the whole design. And also it's not only that small picture, it's also a bigger one. You see the different colors here. You could change to the other colors, and you can log in here, go in here and see it in big size. So that's, I would say, something totally different than just having a text and believing that the text will be applied somehow. You see the immediately, this is so powerful, this encrypt. Totally changes the conversion here. But this is just a simple sample which I wanted to show, and now let's go into our software itself, so I can show you this one, how this is set up. Now basically we are working similar compared to Photoshop. Photoshop or GIMP, for the ones who are familiar with their tools. All this functionality here is set up in layers. So we have different layers here. What we have here is like the basic text layers, your text here. This is the one here. We can change that one. If we click on that one, you see the position. We could change this one. We can move it around. We can change the preview text here. You can, for example, say, okay, all caps what people enter should be automatically in all caps. Then the way the text is handling, if people enter too much text, we have different ways you can put it in here. Then what's very interesting, the color stability, sure, standard text, standard color which we define. You can upload any font here on that, so you're not relying on the few fonts which we have in the system. Typically would go something like this. You have a designer, you do it by yourself, you prepare the design, you cut that pieces which should be then later automatically filled by the system, and you define the font. So you get the basic image, you get the font, you set it up into the system here, which is very quickly, and then later everything comes together. So we have a new feature here for the ones who saw it before already. We can add now different color variants. So let's say I want to have the text here not only in golden but also in red. So let's say I call it red. I'm just adding the color code to this one interactively. A little bit more red. Like this. So this one. Okay, now I have also red one. I can give a stroke around the text. I can give rotation, which is really nice. So you rotate the text in all degrees. It could be like, you switch it here. You can bend the text, which is also cool. So let's see how this is done. How I have done. These are the overlayers. What you see here, this golden frame is another layer. So I can click on that one. And I could also this one, I can change the image, I can add variants, I can rotate it again, bending, everything like this. And you see the idea is that every of these layers is possible to modify them. And you can change the order. So if you now, for example, these little strange black things here, I don't want to have them on top of the golden frame. I want to have them in or under the golden frame. So let's find them. Obviously this is one of them, that's good. So what I do here is just I move it here and it goes under the frame. The same one with, I think this is the one. No, this is the frame itself. Okay, so it's that one. No, that's the other one. So it's the first one. Okay, this is the one. Good. So what I do, again, I move it under the frame. See, it's under the frame now. Now what I can do now with the latest version we have here, I can do a quick rendering. I don't have to save it. I can do a very quick rendering so I see how it looks. Okay, my text here, the big one, these two funny black flowers are now behind the golden frame, and in the background is the image. Okay, that looks good. Now finally, let's say save the whole thing, update it, and I go back into Shopify and show you how it looks then. I can already go back to that one, and once it's done, I can just reload that one once this is done here, and then reload it. You see, this is the version we had before, the black parts on top of the golden frame, which looks a little bit crazy. Now we can reload the whole example. Now you see this is already in the background here. This is the updated version. And you see here, this is new because I set up these new colors. So what I have here, I say, okay, I want to have the text, this text here now in red color. I put again the crazy dude, and I take another picture, for example, now for my friend Russell. And let's go. So that's how it works. So you see it's now, the font is in red. We have the black one behind the frame, and that's how it works. So this is the basic how you set it up. Every design, it's based on these different layers. Yeah. We have meanwhile, for the ones who saw the presentation a few months ago, first time, meanwhile we added lots of stuff under the hood. One of very powerful feature is the image layer, the user image upload layer, what we call it, what we just saw. And beside that, we have a mask layer, which I'll show you a little bit in a minute or so. This is more than advanced stuff. So, for example, we can go like, go back here. We can do stuff like all over images, all over like toads, all over pants, yoga pants, things like this. Totally crazy stuff with shirts. We can combine all these features, these different cutting and mask features all together then. One of these examples is, for example, that one, the phone case, which allows us to cut out very nicely here the image itself, and you can prepare wonderful looking, realistic looking photo, almost photorealistic images. Or the photo upload feature itself, like this Mac here. Basically, again, you have the different layers. You have the text layer. This is your name here, and you see how we changed the color, how we rotated the whole text layer. Then you have the user image upload layer. That's this one, where we have the functionality that people can upload the image. And then we have these 3 different images like this and this one. We rotated that a little bit so it fits into the picture, and that's the whole thing. And then you define what are the text layers, which then appear on the front end where people enter the name. So these are the ones like for the image. Upload the image, upload the name. You can define are they active and are they required. That means do people have to enter something before the system renders it? These are the ones. Finally, sorry, if you like your design, you just save it here. There's also a new feature here. You save it here, and the next time, if you want to apply the whole design as you have it here on a different product or so, you just create a new product. This is, by the way, you would choose from these different print providers, and then just say, okay, load my design here and apply it again. So you can set up the whole new product with an existing design in a something like 1-2 minutes. This is a much big time saver. So that's again the whole thing. And then if you go back to this one, let me show you that example. This is the second page. That's the one. You see your name. And you take the picture for uploading. Take the picture here, put it in. Gets blue, that means it's ready for uploading. Takes a few seconds. We are rendering the whole thing. And it's done. So this is one part of it. This is automatically creating a mock-up picture so people see it, but the power of the whole system is in the background. At the same time, we are generating the whole print file. And with the print file, everything is ready, because if somebody now says, I want to order this one, add it to the cart, so they put it to the cart, they go through the whole shopping checkout of Shopify, and the system in the background already has created a print file. We send it out to the print provider, everything that is integrated. So even in the case you add a print provider by yourself, which is very easy to do, by the way, I can show you that one. 1 second here. So for example, if you want to set up something by yourself here, these are the print providers here. You just go in and define the whole pictures here. That's the way how you would set up. You set up the email address where you send the whole order to. The system would automatically send them out, and then you define the products here. One thing what you get typically from a print provider, they have some mock-up pictures. That's what you put in here. You define the size. It's very simple to set up. This way you can set up by yourself, and then the system, if an order comes in, which you can show, always can look here, for example. Now let's say we go one of these orders here, then the system goes in here, automatically sends them out. You see the status, you see the order number, so you can always track if something went wrong, or if a customer comes and say, I did not get my order, or something like this. So you see when you send it out, you see to whom do you send it out, what time and so. You can download all the details, the order details. You can download the print file to see again what was it. So the whole system's in there, and that's cool features, not only sending out to print providers which we already have integrated, but also sending out automatically to all these different print providers which you set up by yourself, or which set up by somebody for you. That's also a way. If you say I prefer to have somebody set up for me. And the whole thing is now meanwhile an auto schedule. Before, in the first version, you had to do it manually. Meanwhile, it's a scheduler in there. You define after how many hours this whole system scans. If there are new orders in, it takes all the new orders, sends it out to the print provider. If some of the print providers, for example, are run out of some shirts or out of some products, it comes here, get a message up saying its parcel is sent out. So the whole thing here is now got way more improvement is whole handling, automatically handling, and especially also why do we not send it out immediately? Why do we have this kind of schedule thing? We saw that sometimes a customer comes to your shop, they order something, and then maybe an hour later, so they come back and say, oh, I did something wrong. Can you please stop that, or can you please cancel that order? If we would send it out immediately, it would be way more difficult for you to get it back, because now they have to speak with the print provider and so on. That's the reason why we do it every 4 hours here, which improves more the way. If something like this happens, you go simply in here, just cancel that order and say, okay, just do it again. That's one of the reasons. So this is in principle the basic setup. Now I want to give you just a last quick example of the, let's go back here, the more complex ones to give you an idea what's possible. And there's really only the sky is the limit here. You saw already that one before, Keith showed that one. I want to show you this little bit, yeah, crazy looking thing. Just want to give you the idea. So that's the principle. What you can do here, what we do in principle photorealistic rendering. You have a background picture which you can define. You define the shirt itself. And then also, this is in principle a text. It's almost a little bit hard to see. I will show you in a second. A text which is what people enter here. This text is taken, is cut out of the background picture which people can upload, and then rendered on the top of the whole thing, and the whole T-shirt design is then rendered as an all-over print, which is then sent over to an all-over print supplier. This is really one of the complex one, but I just want to show you what's possible. So to give a better understanding how this is working, let me take a photo for the text. So this is where the text is cut off. Take a photo of this one. Take some crazy photo here. Give me a second. Just uploading. What do we take? We take some from the space, a little bit crazy stuff. Okay, like this one. Then what number should we put in? Give me some numbers here in the box here. Just put me some number in here. First number which comes up, I will take 2, 3, 4 digits, whatever you like. 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0 for Mark. Okay, let's put 0, 0. That's the one. And I take another background here for the shirt itself. I don't like this style, so let me take stuff like you can take something from basketball. So it's also uploading. It's getting blue. That means we can click. So this one takes a little bit of maybe one second more because it's a really complex one, and it's a high resolution what we're rendering here. But just to give the idea, this is what you can combine. So we take the 00 as a font. The font is flexible. All these layers are flexible. I will show in a minute how it looks on the editor side. So we take this one, render the fonts, cut it out of the background, which we just uploaded, and render the whole thing into the shirt. So maybe next time I should take a different picture. It looks a little bit stupid with the head behind the numbers, but you get the idea. And then the whole thing is already, the print file is already rendered in the background. So if somebody orders that one, you just take the whole thing and send out. These are not small. I mean, everybody who is into the all-over print, they know these are something like 5,000 by 7,000 pixels, something like this. So you'll get a better understanding. It takes 2-3 seconds for rendering, but there's massive going on in the background. And as I said, the whole thing is rendered here on a nice background.
Great.
So,
and guys, this is Russell, and I just wanted to add something here. Remember that this software is feature packed, so you can have the flexibility to do the all-over prints and have all these layers. But there are items like, say, a wood cutting board where you just might want to put the last family name and have it curved a little bit and say and my last name is Schneider. So if I had a cutting board that said the Schneider family on it, it would be really simple to set up. It would only take 1 or 2 minutes because you wouldn't have to put any artwork. You would just pick your font in Customplex, and then you would have static words that said like the family, and in between the custom text you would just have one other field in Customplex, and then have that. So we're just showing you the power because we're so proud of how powerful the software is, but you don't have to use that to be very effective. You can have these real simple products that sell like crazy, and you just have to find a unique product that really resonates with the market. and then the personalization just gives it that extra pow, and you can charge a premium price. And anyway, that's all I wanted to add right there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm showing only the tech features here just to get you an idea, but as I said before, the sky is the limit, and we have now all these different layers in there. If you combine them, you just can come up with crazy ideas like this one. We find these nice pictures here with that cat and with these two Macs as a kind of a glasses.
And also, all the buttons are in English. Tobias is in Germany, and that's why his buttons are showing in German. But when you put it on a Shopify store, like 99%, or 90-something% of the Shopify stores are in English, and that's what all of the buttons and whatnot will be in.
That's true. This just automatically. My system is a basic German system here. That's the reason why this comes up in German. But your system is in Chinese, you will see the Chinese. If it's in English, you see it in English, like everywhere in the world it's working. So what we did here, we just took the picture and we said, okay, we want to have a nice one, funny thing where people can select two photos, left one for the left eye, right one for the right eye. So what I did, meanwhile, I chose 2 photos, and now say click preview, and the system's rendering that one, just to give some impressions here. So you know these guys here, and that one is by design, so we can also rotate, just to give an idea that we don't have to take the picture like this. We can rotate the picture, we can bend it, all this kind of thing. You can all combine this all in a way. And again, if people like it, they say, okay, this is cool, I want to order it, bang, it's already rendered in the background. Just to give some more impressions here, some ideas. One quick one, before I go back to the questions. This was like a second here, this was the one. Nope, this is not the one. In principle, we can take that one. What I showed you before, the one which I just mentioned, this one where we cut off, the text from the background picture. That's just like using this mask layer. In principle, like the other ones, like the one before, we just combine it in a different way. And you see how simple it is if you think about a simple one. You take a nice background here, upload that one, then you take an image, which is this one here, you prepare that, and there's just a little area which is free here, there, and then you take the text, which is put it in here, and that's it in principle. That's the way I can combine this. You can now, if you want to modify this one, you can take this one, you can change the text here, everything is modified. You can modify, even the graphic is modified now with the image upload. You can also say, okay, I want to upload the image, for example. Everything like this is customizable, and it's always the same. Like you have these layers, you can change them easily, you can change the order and so on. Very easy to set up. Then you define what are the layers which people have to enter something, you give them a name, and that's it. Say update product, it's loaded into Shopify. Everything else is then working Shopify. And so the idea was not to reinvent the wheel. The idea is more like we want to have a stable platform like Shopify, and then we add these features so you can modify that very easily. But the main work is still going on in Shopify. So everything, all of these products are here. Just once you set them in the editor, they are copied over to Shopify, and then you can go on like, let me show you an example, like you're used to do in Shopify itself. So that, for example, yoga pant. You see it's copied over here, you put in the description here, you define what kind of product type is it and so on. Maybe you have some text here, like we have the VIP, so we put it into in this collection, and you see all this here. So the whole managing of the product and so on is still going on in Shopify. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel, so that we put that into our app. Now this is all in Shopify. You can do it as you used to. You can use all your Shopify, the normal apps you have in there, the themes and so on. We support most of the themes. We have seen over the time there are some crazy themes out there, some self-coded or custom-coded themes. Sometimes they're a little bit difficult to integrate, but most of them we got working. So you're not limited in that way. That's the basic idea. Be flexible how much as possible. Okay, that's from me for my demo here from technical side. If there are some questions about this one, put it in the questions box. We try to answer them immediately. Keith, I think you can continue from there if there are not too many questions here.
All right, I'll let you take over the German conversation in the background as well.
Yeah,
I handled
I
as much
just
as I
feel.
could.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
All
yeah,
right.
you speak German, I see. Cool, cool.
So Mark asked, what happens when someone places an order in Shopify? Where do the orders go? So Mark, what happens is the Shopify order comes in, the money goes into your bank account, whether you pick PayPal or Stripe, however you take the money. And so you get the money directly, you see the order, and then depending on who you pick on the back end, you would then have an invoice potentially with that print-on-demand company to pay that and to take care of that invoice. Where is your company based? How do we reach support team if we can? So Debbie, we have a full development team. Tobias actually heads the entire development team, and he oversees all the technical issues with the team. Russell handles a lot of the front end stuff as well as I do. So basically, we have full help desk system inside the members area. We have support there. We also have an entire Facebook group. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm going to switch back over here. For you guys, so we can kind of get back on track here. So let me go ahead and switch back here, close this down, and make sure I got the right. There we go. All right, so I want to just real quick for you guys, I want to give you some more ideas that we're actually working on. And this was actually, I haven't updated the slide because Tobias always, so the basic function, I want you guys to realize that Tobias showed you a lot of the advanced stuff, which one of those things was all over prints, which is a huge market right now where you can actually take a design like the shirt you see, and you can print the entire thing, and then you can customize it with, whatever you want on there. So that's a huge thing. Now, the simplicity though of the app and what it allows you to do is taking a simple, like a family reunion shirt, right? You could have a simple shirt with a nice design that says, Doherty Family Reunion, where somebody could change that last name and they could easily just type in the name. It could be that simple, but he basically showed you a lot of the advanced stuff because the app is so powerful. It allows you to do the basic personalization, or you can get really advanced with the all-over print shirts, the all-over print. You saw the leggings, which is a huge marketplace because of the workout and the fitness niche. It's really big, a big thing. And Russell mentioned the sleeves, like the laptop, like the bamboo, so you could get creative with something like that. Here's one that actually a company out there that offers these personalized bats, right? I mean, how cool is this? The parents love to support their children, especially when it comes to athletics and sports. And this is just amazing where you could personalize a bat. Just think about that. Personalize the bat with their child's name on it. So, I mean, that's cool. We're also looking into etching, glass etching. So we're looking into that as a future stuff. The tumblers, to actually do that directly on the tumblers, and then obviously here's some more glass etching. So these are some other things. We've already knocked out the all-over prints. So we're always continuing to develop the application. So it's not like we say what you see is what you get. We continue to develop the application. We're always trying to add new feature sets because we want to use these things for ourselves too. It's not just like, hey, how can we just, go sell this and make money? This is like, hey, how can we make this better for ourselves as well as our customers so you can sell more and offer unique items and be able to generate more revenue for your business. So the current integrated vendors, you guys asked about integrated. Now you can use any vendor like we said, but we actually integrated with Printful. And Printful has posters and frames posters and canvas and t-shirts, the full line of clothing, t-shirts, sweatshirts, all that, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. They have mugs. The embroidery, that's still not, they have it, but it's still not integrated to the ascent to where you can use it fully. The cut sew, which is like the pillows and stuff. The sublimation is the all over prints, so where you could do the shirt that you saw Tobias showing, and then obviously phone cases. So that's pretty big. The other one is PrintX. Now, to me personally, I like to use PrintX. Printful is great. I have no issue with their customer service and no issue with their quality, but their prices are a little higher than PrintX. Well, actually, they're, to me, quite a bit higher than PrintX. I love margins. I love profit, right? So PrintX has high quality, and they offer us better deals, right? They offer us a lower price, so our margins are even higher, so there's more profit for me as the business owner. For you as the business owner, you get to keep more in your pocket. So with PrintX, I mean, they have everything from the shirts, the hoodies, sweatshirts, bags, huge, the tote bags, aprons are big, the cooking niche is really big. If you're not in that, something you want to look at. Bibs, baby niche is huge, especially personalized bibs. Think about parents and their kids Parents love spending money on their kids, and if you can personalize items, especially bibs for babies, I mean, it's just ridiculous, that market. Wine totes, wine's a massive industry. Can holders, the koozies, you can personalize those for, I mean, beer is a major thing. You can use it for beer, you can use it for any type of can, for soda, all things like that. The pillowcases, the mugs, and the water bottles. Now, one thing Printex has that's really cool, I don't know if you guys have seen this, Printex has the mugs, the coffee mugs that change color. I mean, this is ridiculous. Like the cup is like black, and then if you put like hot stuff in it, it changes color and shows the design. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but that's Printex has those, and you can use those. I mean, it's insane, the technology, but that's some pretty cool stuff. So basically, there's way more vendors on the way. We're always talking to new people, and we're always trying to expand so we can offer you guys more unique products. So let me ask you guys, who's ready to start using CustomPlex today? Just type a 1 in the question box if you're ready to start using CustomPlex today. And also, I forgot to mention as I was going through it, because I got excited as I was jumping through that, is that the Russell actually spoke with the Printex owner, and they are adding things like wine glasses and all sorts of other etching products. So that could be coming a lot faster than we can expect for you guys, where you'll be able to do like wine glasses and etchings and all that. So that, to me, is really exciting and a really cool thing. All right, so we basically are introducing the CustomPlex Founders Club. So this is a private invite-only club. All right, the only way to get in is to be on this call. You can't buy CustomPlex, and it's not available to the general public. It's not for sale just to anybody. You would have to be invited to one of these private calls, and we don't offer that many of these calls because, like we talked about earlier, this is a confidential thing. We don't want to open it up. It's not a big wide thing that's open to everybody. So these are very private invitations. So you're lucky and fortunate that you're here, that you get an invitation, you have a chance to potentially come into the CustomPlex Founders Club. So we do look for some requirements of the people that we allow in, all right? So you got to be willing, obviously, to use the app and the entire system. You must truly want to give value and provide a benefit. You know, just like we do these calls and we try to train you and give you tips and tricks that you can use whether you decide to purchase with us or not, we want you to have that same mindset. We want to work with the same kind of people, that people want to give value and they want to provide benefit to the marketplace. And obviously you must conduct yourself in a professional manner. Everything is above board with us. We pretty much lay everything out. We show you how it is. We show you the software. We don't try any tactics or this, that, and the other thing. We basically say, here's what it is. You know, we like to try to put everything on the table. So what this will actually be able to do for you is you'll be able to build a real personalized print-on-demand business. You'll be able to use the app to attract new business with unique custom products, right? These are products that nobody else potentially will have because they're your own personalized products. And you'll be able to have the best products to receive the maximum profit for your business. That's what it's all about, is generating profit for your business, right? And at the end of the day, you can use all this to meet your lifestyle goals by creating a consistent flow of income. How many people on here are in business to make money? Let's be honest. Are you guys, do you want to be in business to make money? Type a yes. I mean, I am, Russell is, Tobias is. We are in business to generate money, right? So we can control our financial future. So I can make the decisions I want. You want to decide when you want to take a vacation, if you want to help the local church or help a charity, if you want to go out and buy things for your family, your friends, or your kids, right? That's why we are in business. So we want you to be able to use this to meet your lifestyle goals by creating a consistent flow of income. That's what it's about. Once you can get the store up and running and generate consistency, then you can have predictability, and it flows nicely for you. So basically, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get access to the Founders Club, access, CustomPlex private Shopify app, one-site license. So we've spent over a year in development, and we've continued to develop this app. We've actually been we were in a year of development before we launched it, and we've been developing. You saw that Jeff promoted this back in December, so we've actually had 6 more months. So this thing has been in development for 18 plus months, where we always are continuing to add to it. We always make it better. So you can just imagine how much money we've spent on our own internal development team, and we just threw a crazy number out there of 10 grand, but you can imagine the amount of time of developing this for 18 months, of the kind of money that's actually went into to develop this application. So you're going to get priority email support. So if you get stuck, you get, we have a full help desk through email support that you'll get help if you get stuck. We have an exclusive Facebook mastermind group, so you can come in there and you can share ideas. You can get ideas. You can reach out. Russell's in there. I'm in there. Tobias is in there. And essentially, when you sign up today, you're going to get immediate access to the application. All right, Debbie said, is there phone support? If you have an issue, Debbie, that you get stuck, sometimes we find it faster to jump on the phone or Skype and try to resolve your problem. So if that needs to happen, we do that, Debbie. We take whatever action we have to in order to get your situation resolved for you. So if we can jump on, like I said, and resolve it quickly, we may do that. If we can send you an email and say, do this, that might be the fastest option, right? So when you sign up today, you actually get immediate access to the application. You get direct over-the-shoulder installation training. So everybody said, hey, is there training? How do I do this? The videos are in the members area. It shows you exactly how to install the application. You can install it today. Literally, by the time we get done, you can click a button and you can be up and running. You're going to get the priority support in case you get stuck. You're also going to have the exclusive Facebook mastermind group as well. And you're going to get the right tools that you need to have success. I'm going to show you those here in a second. So here's a really cool bonus that you guys are going to get. So this is fast action bonus number 1. You're going to get in-depth training on getting started fast. So some people said, that's great, Keith. I could maybe set up a Shopify store. Maybe I could get this up and running, but how do I get traffic? How do I know who to target? How do I get people to come to my store and buy? Actually, we did a call with Jeff. Jeff was on the call, Jeff Mills, myself, Russell, Tobias, and Pat. We're all on this call, and on this call, we recorded this. So we showed you how to get started fast with CustomPlex. We show you how to discover and identify ideal markets. So if you don't know where to sell or what market, we show you how to do that. We show you how to craft winning product descriptions. So it's not as easy as just saying, oh, here's my t-shirt for sale, buy it, right? We're going to show you proven descriptions that work, and you can use these tactics. We're going to do a deep dive into finding audiences on Facebook that buy. I gave you a couple of ninja tricks earlier. We actually go into deep dive audiences that show you exactly how to target people on Facebook that are ready to buy. So basically, you're going to get the site license, the support, the Facebook mastermind, and then you get the Getting Started Fast workshop, which we could easily sell that training if we wanted to by itself. Then we jumped on, and we also finished out the call, and we're going to give you fast action bonus number 2. This is in-depth training. So we had the Getting Started. These are advanced tactics. So we're going to show you what ad copy to use to make people come to your store. So how to set up the ads correctly. We're going to show you how to manage and use breakpoint return on investment so you get maximum results. So this is how do I put $1 in and get $2 out, or put $1 in and get $4 out. Okay, it's all about breakpoint ROI and maximum returns. And how to scale with stacking. So this is a creative method that we use. We use a stacking method that we teach you on. Once you get something that converts and you get a good ROI, we show you how to stack it and increase your profits. All right, so basically we're giving you the one site license, the priority email support, the Facebook mastermind group, and you get the 2 bonus items now, the Getting Started Fast and the advanced tactics, so you can really deep dive in and increase and scale your business. So we initially said, well, you know what, we spent, now at this point we spent over 18 months and we're always developing. So we're continuing to invest in this app and make sure it's better and better. So we could say, hey, let's sell it for 10 grand. Of course, we're not going to do that. We wanted to bring people in, and we developed this app only for ourselves, as well as we want people to be able to benefit from the application. So then we said, all right, well, $5,000, right? That's still fair. I mean, to be able to tap into a $4 trillion market for $5,000 with an application that makes you different than every other store out there, wouldn't it be worth it? But we decided, you know what, we still wanted to lower the barrier to entry to help more people, because we're not just about, yes, we want to generate revenue with our business, and we have real hard costs that behind the scenes for development, but that still doesn't mean we don't want to help people, and we want to have people have success. So then we said, all right, we'll go with $19.95. Figured it's fair. We'll give people lifetime access, $19.95. They'll never have to pay another fee. Then what we decided to do is we decided to give you more. We decided to make this even better. So we have fast action bonus number 3, and we're going to give you 4 more Shopify store licenses. So not just the one that you start with, we're giving you 4 more, which would mean you would have 5 licenses. So if you want to create multiple stores and have multiple niches, you're free to do that. You'd have 5 licenses. So now we have the main site licenses, the priority email support, the Facebook mastermind, the business, the bonus, the getting started fast, the workshop advanced tactics, the 4 more site licenses. So the total value here is well over $17,000, especially with the development cost that we've spent alone on this. So what we decided to do, because Jeff invited you here and because we want more people using the application to benefit their business and to be able to tap into this massive trend that's moving towards $4 trillion, there's 2 ways to get in, all right? We have a 3-pay of $497, or we have the best deal is actually the lifetime license. They're both lifetime. You can get in a 3-pay of $497, or you can do a 1-pay of just $1197. And you can go to customplex.com/Jeff, and that'll let you get directly in. Now that'll take you to the lifetime payment of $1197. If you want to use the 3-pay, you can click on, there's a button on the bottom of that page that says 3-pay, and then you can use that and use the 3-pay option. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to drop this link for everybody so that you guys have it. And what we're going to do now is, if you have any questions, we're going to open it up to Q&A for just, I know we've gone over a little bit of your time and we appreciate you still hanging out with us. We're going to probably take at most maybe about 10 minutes, answer any of your questions, and we'll open the floor up. Anything we cover here today, anything we can help you with, we'd be happy to address while we're here on the call. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and open things up for questions, and by all means, go ahead and drop them in, and we'll be happy to help you as much as we can here on the live
Hey,
call.
Keith, I want to add a bonus to your bonuses.
Oh, awesome. Well, we appreciate that, Jeff.
Hey, how many of you guys would love to have a bonus from me just to add a little extra value to this amazing offer you guys are getting today? Because I'd like to do something really special for everybody who's going to get started today. So those of you who are getting started, say, show me the bonus if you want a special featured bonus from me. Who wants a bonus from Jeff Mills? Come on, say, show me the bonus in the chat. Real quick, real quick. All right, they're saying, show me the bonus. Okay, you guys, you know that we've been on the forefront of the e-com business. You know, Keith and I got started back at the beginning of the bubble, and we've had a long, fun journey in this e-commerce area. And I put together a system several months back that is a to Z how to begin and set up your Shopify store, from starting, like going to Shopify and creating your first Shopify account and getting it established. And then all the plugins I use, all the apps I use, the theme I use, how I customize and hack some of the out-of-the-box features that Shopify gives you, but then how I customize those features and hack them a little bit just to give me a little bit more competitive advantage than anyone else is using in Shopify. All the newbies don't know how to do this. All the people who just go to Shopify.com and they sign up from Shopify and then try to go build the store, those are the people who are falling flat on their face and spending money on driving traffic. They have no idea how to drive traffic. They have no idea how to set up their store correctly, and they're not getting any sales on their stores. And I get people contacting me every day saying, Jeff, I keep trying Shopify and no one buys anything on my website. It's probably because you got the wrong website theme. It's probably because you're using the wrong kind of traffic to your site. What I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to give anybody who gets this bonus today the Social Profit Academy e-commerce version that's dedicated completely to Shopify, and I'm going to give that to you for free. Now, we normally sell this, ask anybody, they buy it for $1,000. We're going to give it to everybody for free. So you're going to get a $1,000 course, which is my best course I've ever created. It's like the coolest thing I've ever done on the internet was creating this course. And you guys are going to learn how to set up your Shopify stores, how to drop ship products, how to get Facebook ads on those products and do some laser specific targeting. And you're going to use this information to reinforce the tools and the training you're getting from these guys that are going to help you learn how to use the Customplex content. So it's just a supplemental bonus to help you guys who need to set up a Shopify store, to see how to do Facebook ads and how I'm doing drop shipping. It's as evergreen as anything ever out there right now. It's not outdated. It's not going to go away. It's not going to become old school and like irrelevant. It's the standard. It's the de facto. It's the thing you need to be successful when you first get started with Shopify. Because I know there's a lot of people here like, yeah, I've done a little dabbling in Shopify, but I really don't know much about it. Custom Plex works really great, and it works fantastic, but you also got to know how to sell on Shopify. So that is my special bonus for you guys. I just want to add that value for anyone who gets started today. So if anyone's going to join, please send a receipt to me at jeffmills.com. It's me at jeffmills.com. That's my email address. That's my personal email address. Do not send me all kinds of questions to that personal email address. Just send me a receipt to me, as in me, at jeffmills.com. Let me know you got into Custom Plex, and then I will send you a link that you can go sign up for to get into the Social Profit Academy e-commerce edition and start rocking and rolling and having a good time and supplementing the great content these guys have. So back to you, Keith.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, that's just an amazing bonus. I mean, especially for the people earlier that when I asked if you had a store and you didn't, I think it's great for you as well as the other people that want some advanced stuff. I mean, that's just on top of the training we have inside. Jeff's training is just, that's awesome that he did that for you guys. So basically, there would be no reason that you don't have all the tools you need. You're going to have the application, the internal training, as well as Jeff's bonus training. So thanks, Jeff. We appreciate that. And you guys, I mean, that's just a phenomenal thing for you to be able to take advantage of. So Amy says, does it work with Pillow Profit? So here's the thing, Amy. We intentionally designed Custom Plex so that it wasn't specific to the print-on-demand company, right? So we made it so it wasn't locked down to one provider. You can use any provider you want, but there might be just one extra step you have to take. So if Pillow Profits, depending on how you submit your orders to Pillow Profits, I don't know if they allow you to send email orders or how you would do that. You could still do the personalization inside of your Shopify store with Custom Plex, but it just depends on how you're going to ship your order directly over to Pillow Profits. If they would accept an email from you, then you could just click a button on the back end of Custom Plex and send them your order with the personalized graphic and have it created. So it depends on how you integrate your with Pillow Profits right now. I'm not sure how you integrate with them. But we don't lock it down to any specific provider, but some we talked about integrated and non-integrated. So Pillow Profits wouldn't be integrated at this point because it's not built in already, but that doesn't mean you can't use them if you do what I said. You would have to submit the order through your own channel. All right, let's see. Does anybody else have any other questions on anything you saw here today, on Custom Plex, on any of the products, and anything that we've covered here today? I'd be happy to answer. Like I said, we'll probably take just another couple minutes to make sure that we get everything taken care of. But please go ahead and drop in anything that you're interested in or have a question about. So Rick says, can I use this on my existing photography website under a tab for additional services? So you have a Shopify store, so you could, Rick, what you could do, so you have a photography business. So here's a cool way you could use this, Rick. So obviously you're a photographer, right? Professional photographer. So you take really good pictures of people. So why? Well, I mean, to me, this is just like a no-brainer, right? So you set up your Shopify store with Custom Plex, and then here's what you do is when the people, you know, maybe you have a link online where you let them go look at their pictures or whatever, you could actually have it to where they could then see the other options they'd have. Maybe they want to put it on a t-shirt or a mug or whatever type of product they want to put it on. So it's like, it's almost the perfect marriage for a professional photographer because it's a way you can increase your income and you don't have to do anything more. Because if you integrate it with PrintX, it's automated for you. So you're doing the hard job of taking the pictures and stuff, right? And then you just let them go to the page and you're like, oh, by the way, you can buy all these really cool personalized items, and they just click an order and the money comes into you and it gets automatically handled on the back end. So I think it's a great marriage between your professional photography business as well as offering the personalized items, because they could add their photos and they could take it a level further where they could custom or personalize it if they wanted to, or at a minimum they could at least take the photos that you did and put those on products. So I think it's a phenomenal marriage between the two. Let's see. Does it work on SoloCity? Well, the only platform that we're set up right now, Amy, is I don't know what Sean Donahue's program is, but for the e-commerce platform, we work on Shopify as an application. So you would have to use Shopify as your base application for you to be able to use Customplex. Rick says, that is what I was talking about. I used Jeff's setup already. Will that still work? Well, I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't know if Jeff is still hanging with us. If you mean if you walk through his setup, I mean, if you have a Shopify store, you could still essentially add Customplex to it and then offer the personalized products. It doesn't change any of the other products that you have on your store. And I see Jeff unmuted, so I'll let him jump in here.
Right. The answer for you, Rick, is you already have the foundation. You've been through the courses, the training, the workshops. You have everything you need right now in Shopify to be able to add the Customplex modules to it and then learn it and then implement it into your Shopify store. So you're good to go. So if you want to personalize and add that personalization effect to your Shopify store, you're in the perfect position to get this information, then to go through it and implement it in your store right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. We got Deborah already taken care of. So Lynn's asking about a guarantee period. So here's the thing I like to talk about when it comes to guarantees. So because of all the development time and all the because the Founders Club is a private invite only, it's only a club that you can get in by invitation. We don't have a refund period. Okay, so there's no refunds once you come into the software because we're giving away lifetime licenses. When we do decide to take this to the actual public, most likely this is going to be on a monthly fee. So it's going to be a monthly recurring fee, and people are going to spend a lot more per month just to get into this application. So by coming into and getting your lifetime license, you have it for your entire life. You get all the future updates, you get all the new products, all the new integrations, every new feature, every new add-on, everything we do, you never pay another fee. So because of that, because we invest so much in the development and because we invest so much in the business, we don't look at, we don't have a refund for this. So, and here's also, I want to kind of give you guys a little, and I don't mean to come across as rude or sound like I'm kind of being mean, but part of, if you go into a product, all right, and this is from my personal development background, and this is from me personally, and as well as working with my coaching students, if you go into this thinking, oh, I got a refund in 30 days, you're probably not going to have success. If you approach anything in your life with a safety net, you're probably not going to have as much success if you go into it saying, you know what, I'm going to join either at the 3-pay or I'm going to pay the lifetime. I'm just going to pay the one-time $11. I'm just going to be done. I'm going to save some money, right? I'm going to make this thing work because that's a good amount of money, right? Let's be honest. That's a decent amount of money for people to pay. But it's also a very powerful application that could allow you to tap into this coming $4 trillion market. So don't go into this with the mindset of, okay, well, I'll mark my calendar for 30 days and maybe I'll download the app and maybe I'll try it, right? You're not going to have success that way. Whatever product you do, whatever system you go, if you think like that, I guarantee you're self-sabotaging yourself from success that you deserve. So don't go into any product, whether it be this one or any other one out there, and look for a refund or a safety net. This is like your life is what you create of it. You create your own reality. So make the investment, get in, customplex.com/Jeff, and make it work. We're giving you all the tools you need. You have all the tools you need to tap into this massive market. Jeff just raised the stakes by giving you even more training that's worth $1,000 that he sells to give you even more safety that you need to make this work. So you have Jeff's training, you have our internal training, and you have an application that allows you to personalize and do unique things that nobody else can do. Go into it with that mindset, and I promise you, if you started approaching everything you do in life with that mindset of, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to make it successful, I'm not going to worry about I don't even need a refund because I know when I do something, everything I do is successful. Change your mindset, and you're going to have a lot more success. So I apologize to get off my little soapbox, but I want you guys to succeed. We don't want you to invest money and to fail. That's not our goal, right? Our goal is to have you to be able to succeed. Let's see. You guys are behind the scenes. Everybody's answering the questions. All right, so we're going to do a last call. Does anybody have any final questions that I can answer before we go ahead and wrap things up? Because we want to get obviously we're going to get the replay produced and send it out. Some people got on late, so Jeff will be sending the replay out. So in case you missed any of the other information in the training, you'll be able to get to that. But I'm going to do a last call. Does anybody have any other questions that we can answer before we go ahead and wrap things up here today? All right. Anybody, any last minute questions before we wrap it up? Let's see. You got it. Kim Marie says mindset equals no problem can be solved at the same level of consciousness that created it. From that, and that's a quote from Einstein. So, Rick, yes, you'll be able to buy on the replay. So it is going to be limited. So when we get this back to Jeff, there's going to be a timer, and we don't play around with. Some people put up fake timers, and then you can still buy. When our timers go off on our pages, I'll tell you this, just like our word and everything we say, when our timers go off, our pages blow up. They disappear, and you will not be able to purchase. So I'm not trying to pretend or scare people, but you will have some time if you need time to digest, and maybe some people need to move some money around. That's okay. But when you see the replay and you see that timer, it's a real timer, and our pages do close down because we don't open this. Like I said, it's not open to the general public, so we don't just leave these offers open to the general public. There's no upsells or anything else, Mark. You pay the one price, the $11.97, and you're in, and you're good to go for any future upgrades, all the features, everything we do, you're covered. You'll never pay a monthly or anything like that. So you don't. And that's why we wanted to give you everything you needed. That's why the training's there. And then Jeff, even like we said, he's adding in his course, which makes it even better. So like I said, you're going to have all the tools you need. Lynn, thank you. I appreciate you coming in as well. Debbie, thank you. Mark. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up, and I just want to say, on behalf of Russell and Tobias, that thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and allow us to share this really cool application. We look forward to you coming into the Founders Club, and we're excited to work with you. So with that said, everybody, we hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. And Jeff, if you're still there, if you want to kind of close things out, we appreciate your time and everybody here as well. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming and presenting a great product that you guys can all be making money with right now. If you just go ahead and get it, go to the link, customplex.com/Jeff. These guys are my friends. They're guys I trust. They're guys that make a ton of money online. They're guys that you can follow their principles, their success tips, and get results for your businesses and for your stores. So take an action right now, you guys. Go to the link, get this information, put it in your store, and use it. So thanks everybody for joining us and listening in. We'll see you on the next webinar. Have a great day, everybody. Bye for now.